interactive movie. It's it's a short, fun, very good experience. I mean, the characters are great, dude. I mean, the uh, the animations, their expressions on their face are excellent. Like they're really believable characters. They're not very like robotic looking. Uh, Again, this is where they're blending in gameplay with narrative. He's like, why is my head hurting? Well, she put a headband on him, so you can't, so you have to help her, so you have to do what she says. So she's saying, go get the health pack to help yourself. And you can't run too far from her, which might be a little knock because you don't really know what your boundaries are. See, here I can walk I'm walking a pretty good distance. On other levels, you may walk this distance and she'll be like, you need to come back, and if you don't come back in time, you die.
Is it a lot of time, or is it like a couple
no
seconds?
It's a couple seconds, dude, which can be pretty bad. So let's say you're doing something and you're like, oh god, I didn't realize it, I need to get back real quick. Well,
Yeah.
that could be a little bit of a knock on it.
So it's not a consistent distance. It's not like you have 30 feet and
because there's certain stages where I'm like, where you have to kind of go far from her, to kind of help her out. So you don't really know, you kind of test the waters, and other stages you have to be fairly close,
So it's kind of like they've designed so it's like on her whim. It's not really like as if she feels.
It is. You're kind of, she helps you through the level by showing you where enemies are located, and she'll tell you what to do or what you need to do, and you have to, so she'll be like, hey, you need to go get that lever. So you're like, okay, I got to do it. And then, other times she's like, oh, you got to keep me safe, because if I die, it's game over, and there'll be like something chasing after her, right? And you need to get there as quickly as you can. It's all, like I said, it all blends in with the narrative. It's to me, it's its own type of, it's like Alan Wake, where it's just so heavy on the narrative that basically that becomes its game. The game is its story.
So do you think that's sort of like the future of gaming? Like, it sounds like
I think
you're really a big
I
fan
think this is
of
a genre
the
unto
narrative.
itself. I think it's its own type of genre. I don't think it's the future of gaming. I think it's its own genre, like a first-person shooter to a shmup, like Panzer Dragoon or Ikaruga or something. It's its own kind of game, which I appreciate. I like this. Maybe I don't want to just play a game just to play a game. Maybe I'm looking for a story. That's what this game offers. It's really heavy on the story. Also, like I said, like when you start coming into environments, I'm going to get to one real soon. It's just moments where you're like, wow. And there is a lot of charm to the game as well. Hang on, let me see what's going on here. All right.
We could get out through here.
The camera's okay. Maybe the camera's a little spastic at times, but you do have control over it. And like I said, it's fairly linear, and she always runs to the point where you're supposed to go. Or if she's not, she'll repeat where you have to go, which is good because you don't really get lost. But then again, like I said, you really can't get lost. I mean, the environments look crazy,
right?
But it's really a linear path. Like you can't really. I mean, you can go over here and be like, oh, I want to get that ball, that orb over here.
So you're hanging out right now in a beautiful environment, which is
well,
New York
basically
City,
what
right?
happened
in the future, right?
Yeah,
it's like super.
It is.
The world fell
and
apart.
basically what happened is they're like, we need to get back to the ship because his vehicle is in the ship.
Central.
And the problem is these mechs are so dangerous, they really shouldn't be out on their, on foot. So he's like, all right, I got a vehicle. She said that she'll free him if he brings her to her village, So he's like, okay. So once I bring you to the village, I'll free you. So he's like, all right, well, let's get my vehicle because we can cover more ground with that. And he's like, it's over there. That's where the wreckage went, so we got to go get the vehicle.
Was that the thing he left? Was it all on the slaver ship?
Well, when they got him when he was on his vehicle. So they locked up his
very
vehicle.
Fast.
No, well, not against the ship. I guess not.
So how's that going to help them escape the robots? It's like it's dangerous. Let's get the ship that isn't fast enough. Like, no.
Well, they gotta take their chances. I'm sure he won't make the same mistake twice. Now, here's another example of where narrative comes into gameplay. Basically, he's gonna tell Trip to get cover. All right, so he's like, all right, get cover. And she's like, oh, I'm freaking out. So he's like, I'm going to need you to move. I need you to go somewhere. And she's like, I can't do it. You'll see.
When I give you the signal, you get back, okay?
No, I can't.
Do as I say.
And she's like, I can't do it. So he's like, oh, son of a bitch. He's like, we're all going to die. So he's like, I got to take the initiative here. All right, so you gotta run. Again, you have your shield, but you see his shield takes damage, which you can upgrade. So, and see, look at that. I'm already like taking some heavy damage here. Now your health does refill over time. There are also health packs, so you don't need to worry about that. And again, you can upgrade your health considerably, of the regeneration and the actual amount of health you have. But like I said, the combat is fun. It's fluid, it's easy, it's simple. I never once got bored of it. And I read reviews and they were like, dude, the combat's like so repetitive and boring. Nah, dude, it's whatever. I mean, you will get other moves you can use, but
You leaking oil?
Yeah, dude. And when you break a robot, it feels like you really broke a robot.
So what are the variety of robots? I mean, we talked about this a lot,
now
but
here's one. Okay, this probably will be a knock. This is a good question. All right, you don't fight a huge variety of robots. You will fight these kind of robots. You will fight
like them in different colors.
No,
blue
no.
model.
There are probably 5 types total. There's one that will shoot EMPs at you, which will
Dude, why would that
stun
do-
you. Well, maybe not EMPs, but he shoots something that stuns you in your place. And you can actually use him against his own robots. Okay, now here's where he's like, okay, if we're gonna make it through this, I'm gonna need you to listen to me.
If we're gonna get through this, then when I ask you to do something, you need to do it immediately.
Did he just say immediately?
He did. He did say that.
Why?
I understand.
Okay, so now they give you the option of commands to give, which this is what I'm talking about. It's not like they're just like, oh, out of the blue we come to a spot and it's like hold LB to open the command menu. No, they explain it through the story, which
Wow,
I really
she's
like.
one command.
No, you get more commands as you go on, but right now, and it keeps it very simple, and I like that. I like that it's not throwing everything into your face at once. It does a very good job of. I wouldn't say holding your hand, because it does throw you into situations where you're like, what the F is going on? Like, how am I gonna do this? The environments are just so beautiful, and you'll be coming to different. You'll come to like not a sewage plant, but it's like a industrial plant.
Is there the water level, the snow level?
There's no
desert
snow level, but there is a desert level. And I mean, here's where you find out one of the things she can do, and she can stun the enemies for a very short time, but it has to reload for her to do it again. And here you can charge up your thing. So it's
If only the humans had had those glowing sticks when
really.
the robots attack. Is this like a Matrix thing? Like we made the robots who then took over, kind of a story? Or they show up from out-
does.
They come
it
from
kinda
outer
does
space. Do they go into that stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
it kind of does become that.
they didn't come from outer space.
No,
or-
we made them, and
They got mad,
It does have a twist. I wish I could.
but you can't. You're
It's
not
a
that kind
spoiler.
of person.
It is a big spoiler because when you get to it, you're like, holy crap. It's not quite a Castlevania, holy crap, but it's a
You're referring to the end.
to the end of Castlevania
yeah.
Lords of Shadow. But it is a holy crap moment. But like I said, it's so well in its narrative and pacing. Like they're introducing stuff that you'll be doing. Now you have to do cover and you have to call her over while you yell. Now check this out. So you can yell. See, so you yell to get their attention, and then you tell her to come over here while they got the fire on you.
That sounds like a really shitty job.
It is, but you gotta do what you gotta do because you're the man. Okay, so she's over there. She's safe.
Now you can stop yelling. It seems like these robots are pretty easy to fool. Like,
Well, you're not really fooling them. I mean, they're shooting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in the sense that they're
these
not
robots
shooting
took
at.
over all of society, and it's
Yeah.
like they can't get you to. I mean,
Well, it wouldn't be much of a game, but
well, it doesn't seem like it's much of a challenge for you right now. Like, it's
well, like I said,
it's later on that it really kind of scales up and
yeah. For me, it like right there, I mean, whatever. But oh yeah, and you know what I screwed up too. It was part of the story, but she's like, I can distract them while you go. You'll find out right here. But you were supposed to do it there. That's why I almost died. Yeah, I'm not.
So
paying
you broke the
attention.
game rules
Yeah, I
and you
did.
still lived.
Well, see, you can do. You see, and that's the cool thing too is you kind of don't have to do it, but it does help them. a lot.
Oh, so you learned the second command, the decoy command, right?
Yeah, see, check this out. See, now they're going after me, but now she's going to distract them, and she shoots up like a hologram. And what the heck? What the heck? Oh,
What's
that's
that noise?
That's her. That's the hologram.
Ah.
And I didn't know where I was going, so. But like I said, animations are great. It's just simple. It's just it's a simple game. It does have challenge.
Simple in a good way.
Yeah,
not
I
like-
hate to say it because it makes me sound like I'm.
Makes it sound like
saying
you
has
like
no
easy
challenge.
games.
Yeah, I mean there is challenge to it. This is, you got to remember, this is the beginning levels. Usually they're not.
Yeah, they're not
typically-
as
Yeah, they're
difficult.
not gonna throw you into a
Pack of
shitty
robots.
situation right away. But see, he's like yelling distract, and you can check out. See, there she is. So she's distracting him, so you can hop over here.
Or hop right
Uh-oh.
in front of his gunfire.
Oh,
I think
God.
I know.
Hang on.
Whoa, whoa, you
Oh,
can't. Monkey can't jump.
Oh, monkey's having some
Oh,
problems
you can.
there, yeah.
No, Chris can't jump. Monkey's fun.
Yeah, monkey's fine, man. It's just a bad game player. Yeah, so it's and like I said, man, the like we're just cruising through. It's a good pacing. Like you don't feel like, God, when can I get on to the next part?
We're
you
already
know?
on level 2 though, or chapter 2.
This is chapter 2. Yes, this is chapter 2 where there is a good length to chapter 2. Like certain chapters are way longer than others, while others are like super short where you're like, what? That was a chapter? No way. But like I said, no level feels like overly long. Like they never throw you into a situation where you're like, dude, this puzzle is so long. I'm so tired. I want to move on. No,
Yeah.
it's so well paced.
So how do you balance this to a game like Castlevania, which people say is a little bit too long, even, which is a weird criticism from.
That's a stupid
as
criticism.
as an
right?
like an RPG player.
I'll
I'm
tell
like,
you
are
right now.
serious?
That's a stupid criticism. The thing that I have to say, you know, because that was kind of the main argument when this came out. It came out at the same time Castlevania did, and people were like, which one should I get? Honestly, Castlevania offers so much in terms of game, in terms of I even want to say story, because you know a lot of people are like, this story sucked, but it kept me glued. Like I wanted to know what's going on, what's happening with
It
that.
was a little confusing.
It was a little confusing, but they did a good job. And like the other thing about Castlevania is it has so many different enemy types, so many
It's true.
different environments, so many boss battles that were pretty epic.
How many boss spells do you get in this? You get one per chapter at the end of each chapter?
There's
You
not
get-
a whole bunch.
Oh, so no, it's not every chapter.
No, it's not every chapter.
Oh.
There are boss battles, especially at the end. You do fight like the ending is amazing. Like it's a really good ending final battle. Again, here's another gameplay mechanic that's blended into the narrative. You have to go capture one of these dragonflies, which she'll use as a scanner.
That seems a little weird.
Because check this out, because we're going to come to this point, like not yet, but he's like, what the heck, there's dead mechs around here, why? And she's all like, it's got to be mines. And he's like, well, I can't see the mines. She's like, if I can get one of those dragonflies, I can show you.
Ah.
Yeah, kind of thing. So now we got to capture a dragonfly. And the other thing, like I was telling you guys, is there's charm to this game. And as you're chasing the dragonfly, they play this kind of Disney-esque music. It's just, I don't know, it sounds so retarded, but it makes you feel good. I don't know. It made me like remember why I
feel
love
giddy
playing
inside-
games.
giddy
Like,
inside, you're
why
like,
I love playing games.
This is a little music.
And the other thing too that I have to say is the relationship between Trip and Monkey is probably one of the best you'll ever see in a video game, bar none. I should say that the story is actually written by an actual like movie screenwriter, I guess, or movie author. It was the guy who did The Beach and
Sunshine, right?
was it? I think it was Eternal Sunshine.
No,
Either
not
that or-
Eternal Sunshine, the horror movie, I thought.
Oh, Sunshine.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah,
on
yeah,
spaceship.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, Sunshine. Either that or 28 Days Later or something like that. But yeah, one of those, both of those Danny Boyle movies. But yeah, so the story, like, it shouldn't be a surprise that it's a good story, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes I would even say the story is probably better than the actual game because, like I said, in the game, you know, it's so quick in some levels it almost doesn't feel it feels like you're just moving to the story.
Right.
But again, I don't really see that as a knock because I want to see the story. You know, it's an interactive movie. It's good. But anyways, all right. Well, this has been your quick glance at Enslaved.
You're doing good today. You're doing good
Woo!
today.
All right. So,
It's been a
anyways,
long day for you.
this has been Chris.
This is Tom.
All right, guys.